It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes... what the heck is his name again? Oh yeah, Jim.
Oh, hey.
Hey there, Jim. And... Murray.
Yo.
Hey there, Merman. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Apparently the rage is not that great right now because he's sounding a little bit more sleepy than
What
ragey.
I meant was, let's rage on.
That's better.
And that was his best intro ever.
Yes. God. Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please support us and join the growing Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. All members get special episodes and content only for members, and all members that sign up will get a special limited edition Film Rage merch item. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie. The Olympics are over, but the Film Rage Download Olympics is still on. Currently in gold is Canada. The US is a strong silver contention, and France with an early lead in bronze over Australia and the UK. But this month is not over, people. Thanks everyone for listening. Go Canada, go. I'm also kind of rooting for France. I'm just saying. Vive la France.
Vive la France.
Movies are back at Canyon Meadows Cinemas. We are open for your viewing pleasure with great new films opening weekly. All health-regulated protocols are in effect for a safe and enjoyable experience. And don't forget, we should be your first choice for your next birthday party or special event. Can't make it to the cinema? We got you covered. Order concessions from our online store, and you can either choose curbside pickup or get them delivered via Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. For more details, go to canyonmeadowscinemas.ca. Here at CMC, we would like to thank you for your continued support, and we are looking forward to seeing you at the movies.
So motherfucking groovy, baby. Oh, baby. You know what time it is? Yeah, streaming. What?
We're streaming, Jim.
And the Mur, what are we doing?
You guys are streaming.
Streaming.
All right. So we streamed one movie this week, and it is playing on Prime. It is called Val. It's a documentary directed by Ting Poo, Leo Scott. Actually, that sounded like one name. Ting Poo and Leo Scott. It's directed by Ting Poo, Leo Scott.
Maybe.
Yes. No, it's two people. Val is the completely biased account of the life and career of Val Kilmer. It is essentially a puff piece that presents Kilmer as an artist struggling to achieve perfection in his craft. It covers his life from childhood right through to the present. There's lots of interesting footage, especially much of the home video from Kilmer's personal archives. Apparently, he pretty much documented his entire life and has a whole warehouse full of video. The film starts to fall apart when it becomes more of a promotional video and less of a documentation of actual events. For example, as it relates to his divorce from Joanne Wally Kilmer, they conveniently left out the charges of cruelty and infidelity. When they were showing footage of his Dr. Moreau experience, they left out the part where he apparently burned an assistant cameraman's face with a cigarette. Although that whole segment did not come off the way he thinks it did, as that shoot especially, Kilmer came off as a spoiled brat. On too many occasions, Kilmer was attempted to be presented sympathetically, but really every time just came off came off as a privileged and whiny prima donna. The movie seems to try to rewrite history, but fails miserably, as Val was who he was, and that is what they should have been presenting. I wanted to see an objective film about Val Kilmer. Show me the good, the bad, the ugly, and there's lots of all three. Lots needed to be cut out of this documentary, and lots needed to be added in its place to present an unbiased account of a life that was worth documenting. I'm not saying this guy shouldn't have a documentary, but just not this way. Because of this one-sided approach, this film gets a rage.
Oh, okay.
And there was so much good in it.
Yeah.
But there was just, it's like, and I realize that he's part of the production in this.
Yes, of course.
But
it's
at the
his
same time,
footage, too.
And it's his footage, and that's great. But this is a guy that you'd think is at that stage in his life where he can say, you know what, this is everything that happened.
Yep.
I'm not perfect.
And interesting you say, because in contrast to that, with the Anthony Bourdain film, we did get to see somewhat of the good, the bad, and the ugly of him, right? But it was also bad. But I mean, it's still, it depends on who's making the film and why they're making it. This is the thing, right? It's the same thing we complain about Michael Moore. You get a one-sided documentary and you get his viewpoint. So you don't get the full picture, right?
But then they're funny with it.
Yeah, well, sometimes they're funny.
Sometimes they're funny.
So this film
and
is raw.
Occasionally you get an interview with Marilyn Manson.
Yes, well, awesome. That's the only good things in it for sure.
Anyways, I'm interrupting again.
It's okay. This is what happens. This film is a raw and unfiltered look at Val Kilmer from his early years through his lens. It was a bit of a surprise to see him so vulnerable at times, although I don't think as vulnerable as it probably should have been. I have also loved Val as an actor, but had read early on, I didn't do as much research as Bryce, obviously, that he was a douchebag. So I never really followed his personal life. And interesting that it came up in this doc, that he was known to be a douchebag, although we didn't get to see it. So this was a bit of an eye-opener for me. I did not know about his cancer and where he had been for so many years. The journey was sometimes very creative and showed the true artistic talent that Val always had. I wish they spent less time showcasing scenes from The Doors, because that movie was not great. It was great. He was great in it, actually, but the film was not great. Listening to Val speak with his raspy voice, I did feel it added more intensity to this film. Still got to say this again, wow, his vulnerability, it shows in this film. I like the project a lot, but a number of the home movies, but I'm going to disagree with you on that, shot were not great quality. And after a while, it just kept getting tiresome for me. Of all the decades of film he captured, I kind of felt some of the quality could have been better, and it could have been better chosen, to your point. You could definitely see the artistic creativity that this film was bringing forward in parts, and his tributes to his family members were heartwarming. Ultimately, I liked this film, but I did not love it. I'm glad I saw it, because I do really like Val as an actor, and I did like to reminisce about that a little bit. And when the Mark Twain section came up, I didn't feel the artistic creativity was still there. I just felt, this film is going on way too long. In fact, there was a few moments like this in the film where I was just like, get over this. Unlike a lot of docs that are personal journeys, I am now testing how I felt near the end. So as you're watching a doc, and by the time you get to the end of the film, you're like looking at your watch and wondering, when is this movie going to end? It's kind of a sign that the doc was not a very good doc to begin with. So because I kind of wanted this movie to be a different one that I got to see as well. I didn't hate it as much as Bryce. I did think it was a low meh, but I did have a favorite line. Every boy wants to be Batman. They don't necessarily want to play him in a movie.
Yeah.
So,
it's a good line.
Yeah, I found there was a lot of stuff I did like in this, but it's mostly because I like Val Kilmer as an actor. Like, if you list off some of the films he's been in, and you see some of his acting chops, he is an amazing actor.
I can't disagree with that. I don't want to watch a 2-hour Val Kilmer commercial.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
You know.
Would that be because he's paying for it?
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
You know what? I just like if I made a documentary about my life, I'd put everything in. It's like, you know what? That's
This
my
is me.
life. This is me.
Yep.
Like it, don't like it.
Mine would be about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I could make an epic, 20-part miniseries about my life, and it still wouldn't capture the juice.
Juice.
All the juice.
You had a lot of juice.
I do love juice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, apparently that wasn't the best pick for our streaming this week. Although it did cause us a little bit of rage. So there we go.
It was fine.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what we saw in the cinemas. And the Mur is going to take us on to the Suicide Squad.
I am. I was actually looking forward to this because, big comic book fan, big DC fan. Supervillains Harley Quinn, Bloodsport, Boomerang, Peacemaker, and a collection of cons at Belle Reve Prison join the super secret, super shady Task Force X. Never heard that before. As they are dropped off on a remote, enemy-infused island of Quarter Maltese to fight something bad.
It's bad. Okay.
Directed and written by James Gunn and starred, of course, Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, and John Cena, and Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion, Mur's boy.
So blink and you might miss him.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, this was weird. As you might think a James Gunn movie would be. Like, these villains that are this squad, just the weirdest characters I've ever seen before. One threw polka dots.
Nice.
Another guy detached his arms.
Nice.
It's like,
A shark that talks.
A talking shark who wears pants. He was the best part.
Exactly.
Voiced, of course, by Sly Stallone, who's a good friend of the
And
director.
we didn't even need subtitles for him talking, so that was good.
No, which was also good. Yeah, it was bloody and it was really funny and had a little dip in the middle there, a little kind of side story with Harley that we didn't really need to see. But other than that, yeah, I loved it. I was a mondo.
Nice. Brycey, you want to go next?
I guess.
I guess.
Guessing he's not a mondo.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Director James Gunn has a way of making a film edgy, action-packed, and funny all at the same time. It is a balancing act that he seems to have perfected. In this effort, he got a darn near perfect cast to play with. From Idris Elba to Viola Davis to John Cena to even Sylvester Stallone are all perfectly suited to their roles. Entertaining romp that does not let up. Not a big fan of our ultimate villain in the form of a giant starfish.
Nice.
Starro.
Other than that, I have very few complaints. This is as much as I could wish for from a summer blockbuster. It was a high meh.
High meh, huh?
Yep.
That is
All
high
right.
praise indeed.
That is high praise indeed, because the tone in his voice was monotone. I thought, and it wasn't monotone. So he really did kind of surprise us
it
on
was
this
working
one.
its way down to a
I know, right? And then it just
Then it
kind
kinda
of,
switched directions on you
yeah,
there.
exactly.
I liked it.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
It's happening now. Okay, well, Idris Elba, Viola Davis, and Taika Waititi. I
yeah.
sense a Mesmerized off coming
he
up.
was in it too, yeah.
But don't quote me. I need to say this right off the bat. DC is dark and deadly and made for me. MCU, on the other hand, I'm actually getting really tired of, and I don't even know if I'm going to enjoy the next
Marvel
one
has
that's
been
coming out.
Disney-fied. That's the problem.
Marvel is just way too Disney-fied. James Gunn knows how to create villains and anti-heroes probably better than any director working right now. The writing in this motherfucking humorous, smartly written, and quick film, so many things were happening all together at once. And basically, from the beginning of the film to the end, I had a shark-eating human flesh grin on my face the entire movie. The fact that we got to see this in real IMAX made it even better. This
true.
was filmed in real IMAX, people. This is the type of superhero movie that I actually love. Well, actually, action films in general. After the first 10 minutes, You have no clue what's going to happen, and I'm already hooked. The characters were quirky and fun. The comedy made me laugh out loud on every mark, and the action was violent, gory, graphic, and awesome. So many times in this movie, I was like, so much love and care went into every death scene. I fell in love with James Gunn all over again. It was like we were on our honeymoon. Was there some parts that were corny and stupid? Hell yeah. But then this was easily made up for by another scene that was amazing and shows how creative and unique DC films can be. Apparently, I want to see R-rated superhero films and not PG anymore. On top of all this, getting to see John Cena knocking every line out of the park and looking fucking sexy tight in his tighty whities was delicious. I say this very rarely, but I can't wait to see a sequel of this amazing reboot on Suicide Squad with a completely original name.
Suicide Squad
Toads.
2.
Toads. This film was the best DC superhero film I've seen in years. This film was motherfucking kick-ass mondo. And my favorite line in the movie, I don't like to kill people, but if I pretend they're my mom, it's okay.
Which he did.
The only thing I kind of wish more from this movie is that we didn't get Mr. Polka Dot more. I think there was a really good serial killer in there that we really didn't get to see.
He was very
Yeah,
creepy.
we basically got two things from Polka Dot. He takes down a tower, and then
Yep.
and then he throws some in when they're in the like the office part
Yep.
there, and that's we needed more Mr.
We
Polka
needed
Dot.
more, right? Mr. Polka Dot
Yeah.
could have been better. But you know
And
what?
why-
And as a
hated
character, he was great. Like every time he said stuff too,
Yes.
it was fantastic. Whether he was saying, "How can you not remember?" I can't even remember his name.
That.
So, but I thought you were the crazy one. I am.
I know. Oh, you know what? It's too bad you didn't see this with us, Bryce, because I think maybe you would have changed. Did you see it in IMAX?
No.
Okay, well,
No.
this is an IMAX movie. People need to see
it was
this in IMAX.
it was good. I enjoyed it a lot. It was
So
much-
okay, so what kept it from being a mondo then? What was it?
That stupid villain.
You
I
didn't
can't get on
like the
board
giant
with the
starfish?
giant starfish.
I thought that was the best
And-
thing about
but
this
it
movie.
They didn't just invent him for the movie. He's an actual DC character. I've seen
I'm
comic
not-
books.
and that doesn't mean
I've
that
seen
it's
comic
good.
books where like Superman,
The
those
CGI
guys,
was awesome.
They fight this alien starfish. It's like the
It's-
size of King Kong.
It's literally the best villain I've ever seen.
Yeah, I wasn't.
and he shoots out face huggers.
Yeah, he shoots out little time. You know what I'm seeing on social media too? The baby manta rays
Yeah.
kind of look like those face huggers.
Mm-hmm.
It's adorable.
It's
Totes adorable.
Totes adorable.
it's a high man.
All right, well, apparently we liked it a lot, people, especially me and the Mur.
There you go.
But maybe we need to talk about one that maybe we didn't like as much.
Yeah, it was all right.
Like, yeah, but not well for you.
Say
Maybe
you.
it's exactly the same. But we went and saw a movie called Dream Horse.
Yeah, Dream Horse is the story of Dream Alliance, a horse that is bred by a small-town Welsh bartender, and with the financial help of the whole community, makes it to the races and competes against some of the top horses in the country. It is a simple, straightforward underdog story with zero surprises. It is a feel-good comedy with the quirky characters you would expect in such a film. Where it excels is in the acting. The cast is superb. Toni Collette does what she does and shines. Carl Johnson, Owen Teal, and Damian Lewis are very good as well. It is a story that we have seen before, but this time in a slightly different setting with slightly different stakes.
Oh, yeah.
It does lack originality, but the charming cast makes up for that and makes it a meh.
Merman, you want to go next?
Sure. Well, this actually happens to be the kind of movie that I actually love.
It is.
It-
British.
It is British. It's witty. It's got a lot of funny characters in it. It's heartwarming. Had me tearing up at the end. It's all I need.
It's a good flick.
It's all I needed. And I don't even really like horses that much.
I do.
Like I know.
Yeah,
Your
a little too much.
Your bank account says you do too. But yeah, like I mean, raising a horse, like I don't know, doesn't seem that exciting to me. But the fact that the whole town chipped in, including the old lady with her like tea cakes and whatever, and they all get dressed up to go to the derby. It's like, and they ride a freaking a bus,
nice
charter bus. It's like. It was golden, and I love Damien Lewis.
So that's a Mondo for you?
Yeah, it had a good happy ending. It's a total Mondo for me.
Nice.
Excellent.
Awesome.
I have a feeling we've got one Mondo, one Matt. I think I might know what's coming.
Maybe.
You might.
Maybe not. So the Welsh countryside is beautiful, let's face it. Toni Collette is amazing in everything she does.
Yes, she is.
Even when she's pretending she's Welsh. You know what I'm saying here? I don't think I need to go into it too far, but she's not Welsh.
Well, I believe they tried to
That's
get
why
Catherine.
they're actors. They act Welsh.
I believe they tried to get Catherine Zeta.
And she failed with her Welsh accent. That's all I'm saying.
I believe that they tried to get Catherine
Fine.
Zeta-Jones, but
Yeah.
she looked nothing like
I'm
the
just
real
tired
person.
of that. You have a
I don't know
whole
why you
planet
can't let
to
actors,
pick from.
Let actors act, man.
Yeah, they need
Right.
to act.
So
let them act. Don't try to get them to
cast Tom Hanks as Tom Hanks. He can't act as anything. He's got to be what he is.
No. He can
No more characters.
No.
It's got to be Tom Hanks as
be
Tom
as many
Hanks.
characters as you want. But if you're going to try and fake an accent, make sure it's good. And it wasn't. It wasn't Welsh.
It was all right.
As most of you know, I do not like sports or sports-adjacent films. And I don't like movies about horses. So combined... And there was a lot of hope for me to love this film. There is a lot of horses and a lot of sports, like plot and theme. The character development was done, though, amazing, with everyone of the syndicate having a defined character, and we knew who they were very well. I felt there was perhaps a little too much Toni Collette talking to the horse, and perhaps too much story they tried to pack in with Jan's, quote-unquote, Tony's parents, and her relationship with Daisy and Howard, relationship, and his wife, and just too much fucking horsey stuff. And not horsey play, which might have made this a better film, but just horsey stuff. The film was, again, 20 minutes too long, which is, I guess, a new thing with films these days. It's kind of like, if you're going to make a movie, you better make it 2 hours or more. Yeah. Is there not any editors that are actually working during COVID? Because I have a feeling with all the movies we've seen lately that the editors were just maybe off, not working. The story was typical and predictable, as most sports films. But the characters made this heartwarming and endearing. But as we neared the end, I just kept looking at my watch, asking, when is this horse going to win? And this film will end, which makes this film, which should have probably been a rage, but because I do love character development, and this film had a lot of it, it gets a meh. Was actually worse, though, than what the commercials made it look, as I thought this was going to be funnier. There was some humor.
There was.
But not much. Whoa.
I knew nothing about the movie, and I was pleasantly surprised.
And whoa, horsey. Too much for my liking.
I will add, though, that, yeah, it was predictable, but that's because it was based on a true story. They told the story of
I have
what
a feeling they
happened.
put stuff in there.
Well,
They
might
just
have
didn't expand on.
embellished,
They just had like little pieces in there in the story. It was kind of like they kind of told almost too many little stories within the story. And then every time she went to go and talk to the horse, I'm like, this is just dumb.
When she talking to the horse, that's not dumb at all, because that's how it is.
Yeah, it was just dumb though.
Okay, well, that's
I didn't like it.
Every person that deals with horses talk to their horse.
Of course they do. Yeah, but I mean, whatever.
I could sit there and watch a movie with someone talking to a horse all day. And if they're walking it at the same time, that'd be
God!
good. I think I'm just gonna get on that script right now.
Yeah,
I could
start
write a
writing
script.
that piece of shit for sure.
I think I could get that made.
Get on it, girl. Get on it.
Yes.
Okay, well, Bryce didn't get to see this film that we're going to talk about next because he has a job where he has to work evenings, and so we feel sad for him.
Yeah, one evening, and it happens to be Tuesday night. Hey, Brenda, can we move the Calgary Underground Film Festival
events off of
Tuesday so I can go?
We got
on
a Saturday
the plus side,
coming
you can
up.
go to the clown thing on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to see Killer Clowns.
I ain't going to that.
So we are going to talk a little bit about the Off the Cuff event and the movie called Swan Song.
I think we should be talking about the Off the Cuff event moving from Tuesday to any other day so I can go.
Aw, poor baby. Hey, I'm not going to be... I feel sad for you. I do.
That should be my rage this week.
That would change your rage. We don't even know what it is yet.
It's not going to be my rage.
So, Swan Song is about a formerly flamboyant hairdresser. It takes a long walk across a small town to style a dead woman. Doesn't that sound awesome? It sounds like a movie that was made for Bryce. It's kind of too bad he didn't get to make it.
It's got a lot of walking in it.
Yep. So, and I cannot pronounce his name properly.
Udo
Kier, as usual, was brilliant. He's funny, engaging, dramatic, and fantastic. And he's freaking-tastic motherfucking queen. This film is about love, hate, fear, loss, redemption, forgiveness, and everything else you need for a gay man's reflection on life and coming to terms with everything that brought him to where he is now, penniless and living in a nursing home. Udo does an amazing job of showing us every emotion one person can feel in a matter of time in a movie. I had a smile on my face through this entire film. I loved every minute and every shot in this film. This film was fun. This film was funny. This film was great. It was a journey of one man and how he found solace and peace as the journey as spectacular as he was. This film was Mondo. Over to you, Mur.
Okay, then. Well, as my friends at Cuff will know, although I love hanging out with them and doing stuff, I don't always, like their choice in movies because I don't really...
You're more mainstream, buddy.
I don't really skew towards the unusual or weird. This one was actually pretty good. Udo was, well, in a word, he was fabulous.
Good
Everything
choice.
about him was fabulous. Starts off with just, pair of pants and a white shirt, and end of the movie, he has a full leisure suit and a hat and jewelry. It's like a chandelier on his head. It's he was absolutely fabulous. Jennifer Coolidge, as usual, she was a cold ass biatch.
Yeah, she was, and she did it well.
She did it well. It took me a while to actually recognize who the dead woman was. I should have recognized her, being a TV person.
Isn't it Linda Evans?
Yeah, but what has she done besides TV? And Dynasty was like 30 years ago. It's like
maybe her career is dead.
Baby! I barely recognized her, but yeah, Linda
I think
Evans.
Dynasty was over 30 years ago.
At least
they brought it back.
They brought it back at some point. I think it's still on the air now.
Wasn't that like early 80s?
It was a good story. I mean, I had a big problem with some of the events of the film, i.e., this funeral home is basically, paying this guy to do this dead woman's hair, yet he has to walk like 100 miles to the funeral home.
We talked about this, Murray. Yeah, the guy who is getting him to do it is the lawyer of the estate, and he's a total dick.
He should have insisted. It's like he's in a freaking retirement home.
He doesn't
100 miles away from the place.
He doesn't want him to do it because the guy's going to get $25,000 of her money, and he did not want him to get it. Well, he hates this guy.
He should have put it in a stipulation there. It's like, I'll do it if you give me a ride.
Yeah. Well,
but then we went into the movie.
We went, the journey he went on. He walked through the entire movie, Bryce. This was a movie made for you.
Whole movie.
There was no horses in it, thank God.
No, there weren't any
horses. But there was some poodle play.
There was some cattle.
Yeah, there was cattle. So there was, farm animals there for you.
But yeah, it was, not quite a Mondo. I'll give it a meh. It was good.
The last thing that, just so we know, that Linda Evans did. She was on another TV series called Das Traumschiff.
Okay.
And that was in 1981.
Oh, she did Dynasty after that.
No, she mustn't have been in the reboot of Dynasty.
No, she wasn't in a
Dynasty
reboot.
was-
the
Dynasty
reunion. The reunion was 1991.
Dynasty
the actual show
went.
went the whole
Dynasty
all
went
the
through the
80s.
early '80s.
Yeah.
Through all the 80s.
Well, they had a reunion in 91.
Well, they were off the air for maybe a
Okay.
year, but yeah, since '91, I don't think she's done a whole lot.
No.
Anyway.
So for them to get her in this movie is actually pretty cool,
I guess
right?
she was dead.
Why?
She was dead.
Why is that cool?
I don't know. It's kind of cool. Like, if you get an actor, you pull them basically out of retirement to make a movie. That there's got to be something in it for them to actually do it. And I don't know. This was a great film, and I'm glad that she was in it.
I think Joan Collins would have been better.
I don't know. I was always a Linda Evans fan.
Linda Collins is a bigger
I really
bitch.
couldn't care less.
Probably
about
because
either
she's
of
got
them.
a great last name. That's all I'm
There
saying.
you go. All right then. All right.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Oh, sweet, sweet rage of mine. My rage this week is one that I've probably done 100 times, but it's just fun to rage over. Sports, biopics, really? This is what we're getting? That's my rage, that's it. I don't like them. I don't want to see them.
You're gonna win that one.
And this movie had no hope of being a Mondo, even if the script was better. It had no hope. Because the movie was like every other movie. You actually probably said it best. There was no surprises in this movie.
Doesn't have to
There
be.
was
It was a true story.
why
Why do I have to be surprised?
why do you not have to be surprised?
Why can't it just be a well-made, well-crafted,
a movie that
entertaining
you've seen the script 100 times? It's like, I don't want to watch the same movie again with just different characters and a different horse.
I do, if
Like
it's
how
done
many?
well.
No, and this,
You
well,
know,
this wasn't done well. This
I
is what I'm
watched the
saying.
It's done
same-
well.
It was a meh. You didn't. It wasn't that
I
well.
I watch the same sports movies over and over again, and I get thrilled every single time.
There you go.
Yeah. No. Well, that's
The replacements every time, the end of the movie.
Well, that's
I
different.
I
That's
tear
got
up
Keanu Reeves
every
in it.
time.
You tear up in the replacements?
Keanu Reeves makes me cry all the time.
Every time I see it, the end of the movie, I tear up every time. I've
Keanu
seen it
Reeves
like
makes me
100
cry
times.
every time.
There you go.
For
It's-
different
it's
reasons.
inspirational. That's all I gotta say.
There you go. See, I don't need to be inspired. I need to be
I do.
inspired by movies that actually challenge my senses
Yeah.
and my
don't.
viewing pleasure.
I enjoy those as well, but I am a bit of a movie snob, but not a complete movie snob like you.
Apparently,
Yeah.
I thought all this time he was the biggest movie snob, but apparently,
Apparently it's you.
I am the biggest movie snob.
Yes,
on
you
this
are.
show. Okay, well, I'll take that.
So you
I
both
own it.
you both have no.
I
joy.
kind of wish I was, but you put me to shame, my friend. I always thought that I could be, but no.
You got a lot of learning to do,
Yeah,
Lester.
I tell
When
ya.
you can become as snobby as me.
All right.
Ha.
Ha!
Well, I'd like to go on the record as saying I had no idea what Jim's rage was going to be, but I would like to say that my rage is that we need more sports biopics.
Hallelujah.
Oh, fuck me now and call me deadly.
I mean, come on. I'm just gonna list off some. Every single one of these was Mondo. Ford versus Ferrari, I, Tonya,
was-
Battle of the Sexes, Borg versus McEnroe, 42, Rush, Foxcatcher, Moneyball, The Fighter, Invictus, Cinderella Man, Seabiscuit, Chariots of Fire, 61, Remember the Titans, Cobb, The Damned United, Raging Bull, and I could go on and on.
Actually, all
and
those were
on.
actually Mondos.
I know.
and-
So I don't know why you want less biopics.
This
more
may
sports.
Okay, so
surprise
why
you,
don't you
but-
do the homework on all the ones that are not Mondos, and every single one of those, and every single one of those movies that you picked had more creativity in the writing.
That was just off the top of my head, those movies.
Yeah, well, I could probably. Well, I'm not going to list because I don't want.
Well, yeah, they're not all good.
No, those were all good.
For example, there's
Those were all-
there's a new
Yes, they were.
biopic on the Williams sisters.
Now that I
Will
would see.
Smith.
Now
as
that's
their
what I would
dad.
see.
Like,
I would
whatever.
see that because
I
I'm in
would
love with
totally
the
see
Williams
that.
sisters.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more on that. list.
There's a huge sexual fantasy built into playing with the Williams sisters
Yeah, whatever.
on a tennis court, but we won't get into that today.
I don't
Yours,
even know
not
where you're
mine.
going with that, but
Tennis racket, the Williams sisters
Yeah.
yeah.
on a tennis court. Do I need to say any more?
Please don't.
Perhaps there's some liver in your horse. I don't know. What are those?
Crying in a bucket. Okay, let's move on.
So that was it. That was
it. That was
That's
your
my
age?
rage. There's not enough sports biopics.
All right then.
Yeah, that'll make me rage.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
What's going on, everyone? This is your girl Julene, host of It Goes Down in the PM. We talk about everything from work, motherhood, local celebrities to comic books. Tune in every Friday at 1 o'clock to find out what really goes down in the PM.
All right. Well, this may surprise you both, but I'm going to talk about Dream Horse
Who what?
a little bit.
What are you talking about?
Dream Horse.
Last week.
Oh, Dream Horse?
Last week, we saw Dream Horse, a charming and uplifting British film about a small town in Wales that chips in to raise a prize racehorse. While I'm not usually a fan of movies about horses, I really enjoyed this one. It was exactly the kind of film that I like. Quirky, uplifting, and funny comedies about British folk. With that, I present some other light and uplifting, feel-good British movies to make your heart sing.
Sing. Nice.
First up, we have Waking Ned Divine from 1998.
It's a good one, Mur.
Well, more than 20 years ago, it's still a timeless and ageless a classic film. It revolves around a winning lottery ticket in a tiny Irish village. It's discovered the ticket belonged to a recently deceased villager. Some of the local residents hatch a plan to collect on his ticket. It is absolutely hilarious, and I will never forget the image of that naked 80-year-old guy riding on a motorcycle
I know.
down the road.
It's the best.
Speaking of naked, next up we have The Full Monty. 6 unemployed steelworkers form a male striptease act. The women
Didn't they make
cheer
a
them
calendar?
on as they go on for The Full Monty. It starred Robert Carlyle and Tom Wilkinson and a few others, and it was pretty funny.
Is that happen to be the mesmerizing Tom Wilkinson, by the way?
I don't know. Is he on the list?
I'm pretty
I
sure.
believe he is.
Next up, we have one you probably won't agree with.
Probably.
Hector and the Search for Happiness.
Yeah, that was not good.
This was one of my happy movies. Starring Simon Pegg, Rosamund Pike, Christopher Plummer, and Stellan Skarsgård. Some of my favorite people.
Yeah.
Basically, he's a disillusioned psychiatrist. He feels like he's a fraud because he can't fix anybody's problems. So he embarks on an international quest to find the right formula to bring him joy and vitality. I left the movie actually feeling really good. I saw this at SIFF, and it was my favorite movie from that year's lineup. Next up, we have Calendar Girls.
Isn't that the same thing as the...
It is the female version, kind of.
Okay.
It was an ensemble cast featuring women like Dame Helen Mirren, Dame Julie Walters, Dame Penelope Wilton, and Geraldine James. Tells the story of a group of middle-aged Yorkshire women who created and sold a nude calendar to raise money for leukemia research. As a side note, this is actually my favorite part of England. My English relatives are from Yorkshire, and I have traveled extensively throughout the countryside there.
Did you get to see any naked
There were no naked
middle-aged women?
No.
That's disappointing.
I highly recommend Harrogate and York, which has a 1,000-year-old church and a huge wall.
Nice.
And I got to see a soccer game there, so I enjoyed my time in York. Finally, one of my favorite films in the past decade, What We Did on Our Holiday. Starred David Tennant, Rosamund Pike again, Billy Connolly.
Apparently you're a big fan of Rosamund Pike.
I am a huge fan of hers.
I think we are as well.
A family of 5 is off to Granddad's big 75th birthday party at his uncle's estate in rural Scotland. The parents are separated and basically tell their children not to mention it to anybody. But of course, kids talk. They love and can talk with and do anything for their granddad. Unfortunately, a trip to the beach is too much for the old codger. The kids are then tasked with what to do with their dead granddad and the media circus that comes from it. Billy Connolly was actually diagnosed with Parkinson's shortly before shooting this film, as one of the last films he starred in. I'll leave you with one of my favorite quotes from the film. The truth is, every human being on this planet is ridiculous in their own way. So we shouldn't judge, we shouldn't fight, because in the end, none of it matters. None of the stuff. That's all I got.
That's awesome. So, Bridget Jones didn't make it?
I didn't put Bridget Jones or any of the
Any of the Joneses?
Any of the Hugh Grant movies.
Grant?
There was about 5 or 6 of those. But
Oh.
no, I didn't put those.
They're not your favorite.
They're not my favorite, but they are still uplifting if you like that kind of thing. All right.
Oh. Well, there's going to be some discussion, no doubt, right now. Because we had 3 people who were mesmerized in this movie. So, we're all going to take a piece of paper and a pen, and we're going to write down...
Really?
Yep. Here's a piece of paper, Brycey. We're going to write down who was the most mesmerizing
In Suicide
from
Squad.
the Suicide Squad. And as you all may know, for those of you just picking up this as your first episode, we have a significant amount of people on our mesmerized list, so we're always trying to take some off. They may be mesmerizing, but if they're up against somebody that's more mesmerizing, then they get punted off the list. Because apparently...
If it's unanimous,
apparently, because they're not as mesmerizing as we thought.
So there's 3 here, so if we all agree on the same one...
If we all agree on the same one...
The other 2 get booted.
Yep, so... On our mesmerized list this week, we have Viola Davis, or should I say motherfucking Viola Davis. We have Taika Waititi, who, although he was in this movie very small amount, he's
awesome.
still in it. And we have Idris Elba, who's also on our mesmerized list. So, can I get a count of 3 and we'll show our names? And then we'll let all the listeners know. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, go! And Murray picked. Who'd you pick?
Idris Elba.
What? I think you even didn't want him on the mesmerized list in the first place.
Well, I know I didn't want Viola Davis in the mesmerized list.
Oh yeah,
I don't like her.
Well, apparently no one leaves because me and Bryce picked Viola Davis
because she was awesome.
Because she was
10 minutes she was in the
mesmerizing.
movie.
Yeah, and she stole the show. And every time she
was on, I was glued to it, and I could not look away.
You could not be more evil than Viola Davis was in this movie.
She is. I don't use that type of language, but if I did,
motherfucking Viola Davis. She just is.
She was awesome.
I can't see her not. Okay, I know Idris Elba's pretty awesome too,
and he was fantastic in this. But so was Taika Waititi. That little scene. When he finally spoke in that second part of the scene, that was fantastic.
Yeah,
it really was.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, it's Viola Davis.
Yeah, well, I know. We still have to find a movie with Viola Davis and now I've lost my Frances McDormand. That's what we need to find. We need to find that movie, and Murray can't be here on that episode because as much as we all love Frances McDormand, but if Frances McDormand and Viola Davis are in a movie, that is going to be the toughest decision of our lives.
Total bloodbath.
Yeah, total bloodbath. Isn't that funny? Because remember when we started the mesmerized list, we took a long time for we started getting some women on the list, and now I think the women on our list are stronger than the men. So
yeah, for the most part.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, you got anything else you want to bring forward? I think we should talk about James Gunn.
I don't believe he's done enough.
I don't think he's done much, but let's pull him up.
I think we discussed this.
Did we?
Friday.
Oh, yeah, maybe we did.
He doesn't have more than 7 credits to it.
But doesn't matter. Like, we got to get him.
We can put him on deck.
Yeah, put him on deck unless he fails miserably.
I believe his next movie is Guardians 3.
Yeah, well, That could knock him off. Okay, so
Unless
his
Disney
first
fires him
movie
again.
is Super, which was Mondo.
Super was Mondo.
Movie 43, which I don't think it qualifies because
Was he
he was one of the many
one
directors.
of the many directors?
Yeah, so it doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
And then it's Guardians of the Galaxy, which the original, which was Mondo. Yep. And then the second one, which was meh.
It was meh.
And then he's already off it because Bryce just gave Suicide Squad a meh. So he's got to start over, baby.
That's too
Start
bad.
doing more stuff.
I wish I liked it more.
So he's
I like James Gunn though.
Yeah, well, you really did like that movie too. So he's doing Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as Merced, and then he's doing a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. What the fuck is that?
Awesome.
And then he's making a movie, by the sounds of things, about Peacemaker.
Yeah,
Which-
there is a follow-up to it.
Yeah, which I think even 2 weeks ago when we saw John Cena in another movie, he was awful in it. But he was awesome in this movie.
Yeah, John Cena actually is
Better than...
if he's given the right character. I mean,
Yeah.
he's funny.
Yeah.
Like he is really genuinely funny.
The scene of him and his tighty whities, man, that was like one of the best scenes I've ever seen in any movie. I was just like, the shark is about to eat the girl. And they have all this drama that's happening.
Yeah, and he's walking around in his boxer shorts.
It's like, you couldn't even put on pants? Oh, God.
In the jungle.
In a jungle.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, if you're Peacemaker, you can do what you want.
Yeah.
But, the other thing that James Gunn, he's also an actor. So, I mean, we don't want to go into too much James Gunn in one night, but we may have to look at him for his acting credits.
It might take a while for him to get that built up.
I don't know. I didn't look at his list, and we're not going to.
All right.
Anybody
Didn't
else?
look, not gonna.
Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Okay, what about, we got anybody else?
Nope.
Anything from anybody in the movie? You got a look on your face. A querying look on Bryce's face is happening right now, listeners. I think something's brewing inside of his peanut brain.
No, I got nothing.
His non-snobbery brain of
Nothing at all. I thought I was a snob, but apparently I'm not as big a movie snob as I thought.
That's true.
Because I'm a sucker for the sports biopic.
As am I.
Fuck me up the goat ass. That's all I got to say about that. All right, so we didn't get any satisfaction from the Mesmerized off this week, but you know what? I think we got to find a film
Well, there isn't one, but
that we got to take some Mesmerized off. Let's pick some.
We got to narrow that down.
Yep, let's do it. We're gonna plan for next week, people, that we're gonna have a Mesmerized off because we're gonna watch a film and see. I don't know who it's gonna be yet.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can.
Stay
get one
tuned, listeners. If you got an idea, tell us. Go to our website, look at our Mesmerized list, and find a movie that they're all in.
I kind of want to get one that's like one-on-one again, so we can get somebody off.
Yeah,
It's tough when there's 3 or 4 of them in the movie.
Well, and there's 3 of us voting too, so that's another tough one. So if we did add on Murray's is it Fillion? Yeah, Nathan Fillion. If we ever did add him on the list, then Murray's going to vote him for everybody.
He would make it.
Yeah,
he hasn't made enough movies anyway.
Yeah, it's not.
He's TV.
Yeah,
mostly.
I don't even know what a Nathan Fillion is. They couldn't pick him out of a lineup.
Nice. All right. Well, that's it for the list this week.
Just another faceless TV actor.
I may as well reach over there and slap him one.
Bitch slap him. His pie hole.
All right. Last week on Rage or Dare, both Jim and Bryce pulled the 2008 comedy called Role Models.
Oh, it's a comedy.
From my ice cream bucket of rage. This week, Bryce is on his own to face Jim's sweaty, meatless bag of rage. Let's check in with Bryce first to see if Role Models helped him grow as a person, or did it help grow his rage?
Role Models. It's funny. Paul Rudd and Sean William Scott have comedic chemistry. Watching them go back and forth was, for the most part, pretty hilarious. I recommend this to anyone looking for a check your brain at the door and not taking itself too seriously comedy. And young Bobby J. Thompson as Ronnie was alone worth giving this a look. He was fantastic. This kid was quite amusing. I got to look it up, see if he's been in anything since. But I'm sure once he got older, he wasn't.
It's funny that you say that, because when I was watching it, I was actually thinking the same thing. I'm like, what else has he been in?
Because he is just like if
he's been in a lot, actually.
He steals every scene.
He was in Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was he Earl?
No. Have you seen Me and Earl and the Dying Girl? No, he's not. Definitely not him. I think he was one of the friends. He's been in a bunch of TV stuff. Yeah.
Was he me?
He's not you either. He was in a movie called Knucklehead.
Knucklehead.
And a movie called Snowman.
Snowman.
He was on 30 Rock, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's been in okay.
He was in.
I hope he finds.
He
his
was
stride
in the
again.
2009 version of Land of the Lost too. He was a Tar Pits kid.
Okay. What like what in the last like 2 or 3 years though?
Okay, so 2019, he was in a TV show called Living Rooms.
Okay.
And he was in a TV show in one episode called Clash of the Vikings. But he's coming up. He's got at the end of the tunnel, joining Little Homies, A Family's Furry, and A Rich Christmas. These sound like terrible movies.
I have a feeling that
as much as
that's disappointing.
We want to see more Bobby J. Thompson.
This film, they're all one-hit wonders.
He's doing TV. Let him.
Yeah, but according to us, TV doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Not for a movie review podcast.
As I was saying, if it weren't for the ending, which I'm probably being a little too hard on, this would have been Mondo. But as it stands, this was a very funny and very high meh. Thanks, Mur. I forgot how amusing this flick was and probably never would have watched it again had it not been for you. So thanks again.
Yeah, whatever.
What say you, Jim?
Well, first off, this cast was epic awesome. And Jane Lynch is...
Oh, Jane Lynch! I didn't even talk about her.
She's fucking hilarious.
Oh, she's so good.
Her handling of the bagel wiener was enough to make me pass milk-like substance out my nose. But the film wasn't that funny. I don't know what Bryce was laughing at through this movie. I think it was supposed to be funny.
It was funny.
Or at least funnier. With Sean William Scott, McLovin, Ken Jeong, and pretty much the entire cast they had, this should have been way, way, way more funny with all this talent. Who wrote this, by the way? Because, yeah, it should have been funnier. There was a few moments of funny, though, and some human growth and redemption. For those looking for a role model, I did not love this film. I did like a few things about it, but not enough to move the needle more. It was a very small, almost baby-sized Still a Rage.
No,
because it was not funny.
You can't.
There wasn't any funny. I didn't laugh at Sean William Scott once at the whole movie. He was.
What were you
He was
watching?
dead in this movie.
Oh, he was.
And
good.
Paul Rudd wasn't funny. The only things that were funny.
Sean William Scott playing off of each other.
Ken Jeong wasn't even funny.
No, Ken Jeong wasn't funny.
He wasn't funny.
I will give
the
you that.
only thing that was funny in this was Bobby J. Thompson and Jane Lynch.
And
These
Jane
are the
Lynch was
only
gold.
two things that were funny in it, and that doesn't make a movie.
Oh, it
no.
can't make it a rage. You can't tell me that you didn't.
I
laugh
said it
enough
was a
at those
baby.
two.
It was a baby
Okay,
rage.
it's
You
not a
can't.
baby
I
rage.
can't measure 4 minutes of laughing at. Well, maybe 7 minutes of laughing.
Maybe more.
In an entire movie that's supposed to be funny, and it was just not funny.
Everybody in it was fine except for McLovin. He was just He was
everybody.
McLovin.
Yeah, fine. See, this is where you go to sometimes. Oh, they're fine.
They were better than
they're
fine.
They were just fine.
I laughed through the whole thing.
I laughed. I laughed at Jane Lynch and I laughed at Bobby J. Thompson. That's it.
I did as well, and I also laughed at Paul Rudd, and I also laughed at Sean William Scott.
Well, I'm really glad that you enjoyed it. But Murray, it did its
amusing.
point with me.
Well, thank you. I'm glad somebody agreed.
Yes, I agree.
And here's a little trivia
Tidbit?
for you. The writer of this fantastic movie,
Yes.
his credits in the last 10 years, Office Christmas Party, which I actually liked.
Did he die or something?
Pixels.
Oh God, that movie's awful too.
This Means War.
also terrible.
Just go with it.
That's also
Okay,
terrible.
just
There you
go with
go.
it's bad.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, people.
That's
this,
what he did after
So
role models.
he peaked early. That's fine. People do that.
Apparently.
or in my case, and in Murray's case,
And hasn't worked in 5 years.
yeah.
No, he's still collecting.
If we
all
can
the-
just watch some YouTube clips of Jane Lynch and Bobby, then watch that.
I will always
That's what I
watch
can say.
Jane Lynch, but I didn't.
I know, right?
Yeah. Not worth
Is
it.
this is a person that we all agree on, which is very rare.
Yeah, Jane Lynch is awesome.
You know what?
Yeah, but
Why
I,
is she
I,
not-
Wait a minute.
She's
Wait a minute. Should we just back it up?
No,
Is
'cause-
Jane Lynch mesmerizing
'cause
here?
I
Segment's over. Got to do it next week.
I like her from TV. That's the problem.
Put a
Yeah,
pin
but
in it.
I can't even list
Next-
2 movies. she
Next
did.
week,
Next
people,
week,
we'll be
Jane
talking
Lynch
about
just
Jane.
might be mesmerized.
Only if I can include TV.
You have to just judge her as a person,
Two
as an
movies
actor.
he's been in.
There, well, you can't veto then. You just have to agree with it what it is.
Just roll with it.
Just roll with it,
All
Murman.
right.
Okay, well, what else do we got? So we got to pull something from something for something.
Something and something.
who's-
I think-
Who's
I think-
picking the
up?
juice this week?
I think it's from your sweaty bag.
Oh yeah, you got to pick from my. Oh my God, Bryce! I just refilled this juicy bag. I think it's over there, Mur.
Are you sure?
I think I put it in there.
That's right here.
I think I labeled it. It says Jim's bag.
No, that's their bag.
There's another little
That's
bag.
Bryce's.
Oh.
Another tin.
There it is.
All right.
It hit the
There
dash.
we go.
it's so
Pass it
small,
here.
it
I want to
fell
hold
off the
it high
table.
to give you the juice. Here we go, people. Oh, this thing is so full of goodness. Grab one of the little ones because the big ones are kind of, old and stanky in that bag.
So you want me to grab a little one?
Yep.
All right.
The little
grab
ones are just a little bit more juicy.
This is a little one.
Yep.
Okay. Apparently, I am going to watch. I don't even know what this is.
Let me see. What is it?
What is Bride Wars?
Oh, Bride Wars. You're going to be.
Isn't that
you'll
a
have-
TV show?
No, it's not, actually. You're going to get to watch a movie from 2009 that stars Kate Hudson, Anne Hathaway, one of your favorite actresses, Candice Bergman,
That's Bergen.
that her too. Chris Pratt is actually in this too. So you have a lot of things to look forward to.
Probably
Guessing he
that's
plays
probably
the
a
groom.
It's probably a pudgy Chris Pratt.
It's probably a pudgy Chris Pratt. So you've got a lot of things to look forward to next week when Bryce will be watching a rated G film called Bride Wars.
Is it rated
It's
G?
G-rated.
Rated G.
I.e. probably Disney.
And did I mention that Anne Hathaway and Kate Hudson in this
Don't hold that against them.
Yes.
You know what? I was feeling kind of bad about some of the movies that were in mine, but now that you've given this one, I don't feel bad at all. You are in for it.
I am
But-
so happy.
I have a feeling this might not be very good.
I have a feeling it's going to be completely awful because I have seen it. Why did I see this? I don't know, but I think my wife made me watch
you
it.
have
But
two
even
daughters?
she hated it when we watched it. No, my daughters don't like these kind of movies either. I trained them well. I raised my children to hate these kind of movies. Oh God, that was so. This is the most satisfying day of my life, people. Until I watch Bryce talk about Bride Wars. Oh, my friends. Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Super rage love to our members, Julene from It Goes Down in the PM podcast, James and Philip for their continued financial support to help us keep the lights on at Film Rage Studios. Thanks to the extended Film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. People, check out Leonard Conlon on Instagram. You will not be disappointed. For Bex Goose for her cartooning skills at PotatoLadyPodcastReviews.com. For Tony from FlixX Rated Podcast for his graphic design for our verbal masturbation art, which I'm wearing today. For Nat from Crime Time Nerds for our new Bryce Loves Walking art, soon to be everywhere. The last thanks are for our sponsor, Canyon Meadows Cinema. Please go and support your local independent cinemas near you as they need your help desperately as we come out of COVID. Find us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. See what we look like on our YouTube channel by searching Film Rage Podcast. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please make us rage. Please. Please. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.